To me, movie theaters are a thing of the past. I haven't been to a movie theater in like 2 or 3 years. And I really don't want to go to a movie theater. I mean, it's cool seeing the big screen, having the speakers, the surround sound and stuff like that. That's awesome. But the problem is with going to a movie theater is you spend a ton of money on tickets. You spend a ton of money on concessions. You can't obviously pause the video so you can go to the bathroom. You can't look at your cell phone. And then you got to worry about people around you distracting you from the movie. It's an experience that's going away. And movies just in general, I mean, if we put aside the fact that they're trying to push a narrative in new movies because of China wants us divided so they can conquer us, so they use culture, which is highly intelligent, because they basically own Hollywood. But the fact that they just come out with like the same type of, there's no creativity really. It's the same movie, just sequels. Next year is all sequels pretty much. It's a lot of people have shorter attention spans, and it's becoming more and more so. And in fact, I think the newer generation, why video games are so big, is because people want their entertainment to be interactive. And if you're just watching a movie or a show or whatever, like, yeah, you can be entertained or whatever, it's cool, but there's no time for boredom anymore. Like, people are conditioned to not be bored. So in between sets, in between bands changing, in between songs, people look at their phone. It's just like sitting at a traffic light. You look at your phone real quick, or you're sitting in a doctor's office, or you're looking at your phone. You're not just sitting there like reading a paper or something. Like, you're doing something. It just doesn't make a lot of sense for movies to keep on going what they're doing. They're so afraid to invest in new ideas in Hollywood because they want to spend so much money on these movies when they really don't. If they thought outside of the box and went on TikTok and looked at, or YouTube, and found creators of people who can actually come up with ideas, and then they use their story writers for their ideas, and not put a crap ton in these movies, instead of putting all this money making these movies look super realistic, they could put the money more into marketing these movies. Instead of, you know what I mean? That's cool, they're realistic looking, cool. But there's no story. There's no, it's regurgitated crap. Celebrities are starting to hop on TikTok now because they're seeing that it's garnering. God damn, I can't fucking talk. It's garnering. I'm tongue tied, so it happens just sometimes with words. Anyway, it's garnering attention from the masses, and they're in competition, so they go on these social media platforms and they try to make a video. But the problem with these people like Justin Timberlake or a movie star is most of them don't have any creative ability. Like, we think, especially in the old days, we thought, man, when I was growing up, these people are highly creative, and they're not. You know, they might know how to sing really well or dance really well or pretend to be somebody else very well, but they can't come up with their own ideas. They're not creative people. So they come up on TikTok and they make their videos, but it's basically just like, look at me. That's it. There's nothing creative. There's nothing funny. Besides comedians, I'm not saying them. Those people are highly creative. But when it comes to like any type of ideas, they don't have any. It's almost like they are NPCs. It's almost like, because I think a lot of females are NPCs, right? Not all, generally speaking, because they all want to be like, they're all clones of each other. They all act like each other. They can't come up with their own ideas. Especially on social media, it's just the basic thing for most women on social media is like, look at my body, look at my sexuality, but then they don't have anything they don't have any other ideas besides that. But it garners a lot of attention. And I think that people in a few years are going to be like, this is dumb. Your content's stupid. Like, it's fresh right now because celebrities are getting on TikTok or whatever. They'd be like, oh, that's cool. Look at Justin Timberlake's on TikTok. Cool. But it's like looking at the same picture. I mean, it's worked for many years, I guess, with these Instagram models. Just pretty much putting up the same picture or putting up workout routines, which, okay, like, you're cool, man, you work out, cool, awesome. Like, you're not teaching me anything. We already know working out is boring, and we pretty much, if you don't know how to do certain moves or movements or whatever, or workouts, you can go and find someone way better than these Instagram models who actually teach you things, who are experts, besides just some random person like myself going in the gym and doing a workout. But eventually people will just get bored of these people. You can only do the same thing so many times, and then people are just gonna be like, this is stale, this is boring. I understand a mass amount of people. It's easy to get their attention doing certain things, but if you're not innovating or being creative and just putting out the same type of crap over and over, eventually it gets stale and boring. Very repetitive. So yeah, these famous people who come on these platforms are definitely going to do very well. And it would be awesome, but they're not going to do it if they just go ahead and take smaller. I've seen a little bit of it. Smaller channels and just do reactions to them, so they can pump up their accounts and have them be more out there, get the attention that these accounts really deserve. And these people on TikTok are like highly creative people, even just using basic ideas and basic items, maybe, you know, like a green screen or whatever. And these people have like hundreds of thousands of followers. And pumping these people up, but they don't want to because it's their competition. But eventually people are getting tired of celebrities, honestly, because we don't relate to you people at all. Social media is kind of put in people's ideas that they are kind of a celebrity, and fame doesn't mean it doesn't have the social status as it once did, because so many people it's being overrun by so many different people, and you could just be a regular person and become famous. As before, you would have to rely on the machine to pump you out there with their marketing and put you in proper positions, whether you're a musician or a movie star, a TV star. They put you in those positions, and it was really hard. But with social media and self-promotion, all it takes is a couple big videos, and then you get some notoriety and you gain some traction. A lot of these old school ideas with like movies, like 2 to 3 hour movies, and there's a lot of people that still like them, and they're not going to go away completely. But I just think that you don't need to spend a ton of money on the actual creation of these videos. You can do something like the Blair Witch. That was ahead of its time. Very cheap, but it garnered a lot of attention. People thought it was boring, the camera shook and all that garbage, but what Blair Witch did for me, and why I was so scared when I was watching it, wasn't the actual movie, because I could put myself in that situation, and that's why I don't like horror movies. My imagination, I could put myself in different positions and actually like be there, feel like I'm actually in that. And that if you're in that situation, that was reality, it scared the hell out of you. But I think you'll see more stuff like that. Cheaper indie films that get pumped up because they're cheap, but they have good story, they got good creativity, and then all you got to do is just spend a bunch of money marketing and put it on the shelf. That's it. I could be wrong, but that's one of my predictions is we'll go away from movies, and it just takes too much. There's not enough interaction ourselves to keep attention. I think a lot of people going forward are going to want to interact, whatever that is. Maybe it's a digital environment with the metaverse and all that, but they don't want to just watch. They don't want to just be a spectator. I can't sit here and watch a football game anymore. A whole football game, a whole baseball game. I mean, I can go there, but I really don't want to even go in that position anymore. It's a huge hassle. You spend you go to one of these sporting events or concerts, which is hilarious, with these like Madonna coming out and having a tour, and these old 80 rock metal hair bands coming out, and they look atrocious on stage. They're playing young people's music and they're completely out of shape, or they're like old. I remember going to Ozfest, and I had respect for Ozzy, but it's not like something I listen to all the time. Like hardly at all I listen to Ozzy. Like you'd hear in the background some kind of whatever advertisement or in a movie or something, one of the songs. I don't know if he has any, but that's what they ended up being. But I'd see like all this youth and innovation on all day, hard music, and then Ozzy would come on, and it would just be him. Basically, it seemed like he's in a walker. People jumping around on stage having a good time, and then he just kind of like moseying around on stage, and then you see like these old out of shape people like Vince Young and Madonna. It's just like, dude, you're not. It's like, hang it up, man. hang it up. You got to have that energy on stage. You can't just stand around. Also, yeah, I just think that people with entertainment, things are going to change dramatically. And I think that it's at some point these simps are going to wake up with women online. At some point they're going to, unless they like being abused and talked down to, because what's going to happen is females are just going to get more and more ruthless online. And they're basically going to spit in these dudes' faces that give them validation, give them money, and at some point these dudes are just gonna wake up. They'll still have some, but it's like it's gonna dwindle. It's not gonna be as prevalent. Honestly, I admire the female body. Like, what dude doesn't? We're very visual. It's one of the most beautiful things on the planet. A nice, healthy woman's body that takes care of herself, the shape and all that. And I probably sound like a creep, whatever, dude. It's the truth. That, I mean, it's nice looking with the face and all that, the hair. But the thing is, when that's all you bring on your social media, that's it. Dudes are gonna start waking up and realizing, what am I doing? This is so stupid. This is so boring. I'm gonna stop giving this female validation with comments and likes. It's gonna take. It's what it is. It's gonna be the older generation, the boomers, that die off, and the younger generation has all this information online and they understand everything. When the boomers, it could be 10, 20 years from now, when the boomers die off, that's when you'll see. But we're about to go through some turbulence, so it might change. I don't know. I just think that females are pretty much at their peak and they're gonna start declining, and a lot of them are gonna lose it. They're not gonna know what to do. If you notice, they're always on their phone. They're looking at their notifications and all this, and when that starts going down and depleting, and they don't have that to lean on anymore, I don't know what's gonna happen. They're probably gonna have to. It's like when their value finally comes, because it's a bubble, man. Like Bitcoin or the stocks, they are a huge bubble. They're completely overvalued. Yes, women are valuable, of course, but the way women are becoming, when the only thing that they have to bring to the table is their sexuality. I can't say, man. Sexuality. That gets old. If you're in a relationship, like when you're a dude and you first get with a female, it's all new. You want to be around her all the time. You want to do stuff with her. You want to have fun with her. Intimate things with her all the time. But it's like getting a new car. It's cool. You want to be in your car. You want to show it off. You feel good. It smells nice. But eventually you get comfortable with your car. It loses, like a video game, it loses appeal. You get bored of it. It's okay, cool. The nostalgia wears off, or whatever. Not nostalgia, but the newness wears off. And that's how it becomes with females. Is we still have attraction, but we don't have that type of how it is at first. You know, the women, the longer they get with the guy, we start seeing more. They start dropping their guards. They start showing us more. They start doing unpleasant things in front of us that they hide before. And yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this. What I also want to say too, this is gonna be a longer video, I guess, is these boomers. I probably sent a different video. These boomers who are like talking trash on these millennials right now. People like me that have been raised in an environment where our emotional needs were not met when we were younger, and now we're pretty much detached. A lot of people lack empathy for others. And having that bond between kids, like a lot of parents, they bought their kids a lot of stuff, material stuff, but they didn't give them that. What really mattered was that emotional presence, that security. And they pretty much just left them alone, and because they cared more about themselves. What they don't understand, what's going to happen is these kids that they call lazy right now, they call entitled, who they actually raised, but they don't want to take responsibility for that, why they're lazy, why they're entitled. Eventually, people like me that have been paying into our Social Security for 20 years, and by the time it gets depleted in 10 years, we'll be paying it for another 10 years. What'll happen is it's going to run out, and I've been funding this. I won't get any of it. Nobody's going to take care of me when I'm old. So I got to worry about myself when I'm old. And these boomers are going to come who have completely wasted their whole lives, who have perpetuated their selfishness onto their kids, who've conditioned their kids to be the way that they are, materialistic, entitled, who chose, instead of, I'm going to go through the same thing, man. My kids are come from a household of divorce. So I'm probably going to have to focus on, I'm not saying nothing bad about my kids, and my relationship with my kids are pretty solid, but other people, they send their kids to daycare or whatever. Somebody else is raising their kids for them. They're not going to give a damn about their parents, really. Like, the parents are going to come to them when their Social Security runs out and the government can't take care of them anymore. And their kids are going to be like, what the hell do you want me to do about it? You've been calling me lazy and entitled. I can barely take care of myself. You left me with nothing. And you expect me to take care of you now? You didn't give a damn about family before, but all of a sudden now, since you need somebody to take care of, oh, I have to take care of you? No, it's not going to happen. A lot of these people are going to end up being homeless. A lot of them are going to end up self-deleting. But it's their own fault, man. Everybody's about themselves now. It's mostly, a lot of people are about themselves, generally speaking, in America. And when you raise kids in that environment, you can't expect them to all of a sudden, you raised me, now you owe me. I don't owe you shit, okay? Nobody owes me shit. I've already told my kids this. They don't owe me a damn thing. They didn't ask to be brought in this world. I didn't ask to be brought in this world. Yeah, you raised me. You did what you were supposed to do. I did what I'm supposed to do with raising my kids, but they don't know me. And maybe that's the way things were in the back in the old days. But there was actually families back then. Parents actually give a damn about their kids growing up. And you're going to see, man, you're going to see a lot of old people homeless. Especially old women. You're going to see a lot of old women homeless. And it's sad, but like they did it to themselves. And maybe it is what it is, man. It is what it is. It sucks. But when you raise your kids to not give a damn, because you don't give a damn about them emotionally, yeah, here's some stuff. Just go over there. Here's some toys. Go over there. Here's some video games. Here's a screen. Go over there. I don't want to be bothered. What do you think they're gonna? You condition them to be like this. And now you think they're just gonna like change when they're older? People don't change, man. Most people don't change. I'm sorry to say, it is really hard for people to change. It takes something that really awakens them. Some kind of severe pain, emotional pain that they go through for people to actually want to change the way they do things in their life. People don't evolve. People get stuck in their ways. And when the boomers realize that the damn kids don't care, they did it to themselves. Most people in our society right now are just children in adult bodies. That's it. For me, I really grew up. I kind of feel like an old man, but like right now, since my kids are getting older, I'm kind of regressing into being more immature, where it's like, look, I'm making these videos, kind of comedy type of videos, or like going like making music, or just like, I don't know, I'm weird, dude, so I can't really use me as an example, because I don't drink, I don't do drugs, I don't smoke, I don't do any of that crap. But there is a thing with immature. I think I'm trying to say is like, with me it's like, I don't want to be responsible anymore. I'm tired of responsibility. And I think that's where the immaturity is coming in for me. I don't want to be responsible. Maybe it's just I just need a break, man. I took it on so much responsibility the last 18, 20 years. I'm just like, I just need a break. I just need to like heal my emotional wounds, and I need some time to myself and figure things out, and just like actually take a breath, instead of always having to like keep going, and because I got to provide for my family. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this, but I need to get into the gym and quit wasting time. And if anybody's watched this whole thing, you're a better person than me, because I ain't gonna watch this whole thing.